Now, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be able to share with you a little more of Post's story about how we're evolving, and it's certainly an honour for me to be able to be here with two wonderful leaders to be able to share, I guess, our perspectives of how we're changing. I do have a very long title for a guy who doesn't like titles at all. My team have this running joke kind of with me. They have this graph that kind of plots effectiveness of role against length of title, and they remind me of that fairly constantly. But what I do is run Post's growth business. And growth is something that is incredibly important to us because we have to create a future in new things that are different from what our past has been. And the role of innovation inside of that is something that's incredibly important. So, of course, innovation can be described as ideas that deliver value for us. You know, you probably extend that a little bit into great ideas that deliver value at scale. And scale, of course, is that really challenging thing that most organisations need to be able to find a path for, because growth is the thing that's fundamentally important to move us all forward. I believe in the power that our largest organisations have in Australia to be able to make a contribution to provide for successful and vibrant communities, the ability to be able to evolve the role that someone with a great idea can have to be able to take that not only to their community but to the world. And we see our role and ability to be able to help provide people with a platform to be able to go and do that. But Australia is falling behind in its ability to be able to take ideas and get them to grow at scale. You'll see here, the countries in the world that are doing that the best, but we're falling further behind. We're falling further behind at our ability to actually have an idea and connect that to something that is going to scale. And as we've been looking at this particular problem, one of the stats that ends up being incredibly important for us is starting to look at the notion of how change is now starting to run at an exponential pace, run and fueled by technology and giving people an ability to be able to fuel and promote great ideas. But for a large organisation like us, of course, the notion that 3 out of 4 of the world's largest companies would exit the S&P 500 within the next 15 years is something that's incredibly powerful. It's powerful when you then compare that to the 50s and 60s, where once you were big, you stayed big. You generally stayed big for 30 or 40 years. But that realm now is fundamentally changing. And those learnings are things that we're taking into our organisation to evolve our culture and to how we end up growing. You will all have your stories of what it's like to be able to engage with Australia Post. We are a proud part of Australian communities. We believe very much in that purpose, and in a way we've had a timeless purpose of wanting to help people connect with one another, to connect with their communities and to connect with the world, to enable them to be able to communicate, to be able to transact commerce, and to enable them to be able to bring their ideas and aspirations to life. But the things that we were known traditionally for are now the things that are now our customers are choosing that they don't want to be able to use in the same way. And so moving forward, what we need to do is both listen but evolve how our organisation works. And our story, of course, it took us 200 years to build the mainstay of our business, which was the foundation for our brand's trust, and the notion of how we were able to provide our services to communities. So it took 200 years to build a scale in our business, and since 2008, 50% of that business is gone. 50% of the core of our purpose then disappeared in a few short years when it took 200 years to create. Our only option is to create. There actually is a beautiful simplicity that is associated with the challenge that we now have. And our ability to change is in fact becoming one of the most powerful things that's then supporting our ability to be able to create the kind of future that we know that we need. And so our response then certainly has helped to go and focus on online shopping, and thank you so much to you all who do such a great job of going and buying things online. We are very grateful for that. But of course, we've evolved a foundation of how our people work, what they believe in, the connection they have with community, and of course, a foundation of technology which is now giving us an ability to be able to create in a way that we have never had before. But in involving our company, and one of the roles that I have is to help our company see that we have a future for ourselves in the digital age business models that are so very common, that are helping to fuel the major growth engines that you're seeing across the world. And for us, we have four. We have deliveries and retail, which are the traditional ones that you all know. And in a way, they look to be provided as pieces of national infrastructure, national physical infrastructure, that help people to be able to transact with one another, to be able to share their products, to be able to take their ideas and share them with one another, and to perform the services that they want and need. But these things are physical. What we also need to be able to do is to help to enable a future that right now that we believe is still held back in terms of wanting to go and evolve the digitisation of this economy, and are now adding two new platforms, one in identity and one in payments, to then help to provide, in a way, things that contribute to the building of our nation in their ability to help people and businesses and organisations change the way they want to interact with their customers and the ideas and innovation that they in fact want to go and bring to bear. Now, I want to challenge the notion that large organisations can't change. And if you kind of look at the wonderful brands that are identified here, and we pick one of them out being Amazon, very topical given a lot of local market rumour and things that we know are occurring here. Who here thinks that Amazon is an incredibly innovative organisation? Show of hands. Who here thinks Amazon's an innovative organisation? Okay. Large proportion of the room. Amazon are 10 times the size of Australia Post. In the last year alone, they added 110,000 people, 3 times the size of Australia Post. So is scale then a reason as to why you can't change at the speed that you need to for your customers? And what is fundamentally different about these emerging organisations, how they work, how their culture works, that then helps them to create at a speed that they haven't been able to do before? And for us, a future for us lies in how we work, where it is as important as what we work on. The nature of our people's ability to feel empowered to make decisions in the moment, to be able to create something that connects with great insight they have about our customers, is then fueling our ability to be able to create the future that we know we now need. Our approach to innovation then is multifaceted. We've been on a journey for 4 to 5 years of building these capabilities in our company. And our people are intensely proud of their ability not only to participate in the internal create teams that gives us an ability to create the things that are new, and I'll show you some examples of those in a moment, but it's our ability to take that then into regional Australia. And we've recently worked with another organisation and created the Australia Post Regional Pitch Fest to give communities an ability to be able to promote the great ideas of individuals who want to champion something that they're building. And a few weeks ago, we were at the final of a Pitch Fest activity we have been running across the country, trying to bring to life the great ideas that then exist inside our communities. And the person that won that was a 14-year-old student from Wagga Wagga. He created the amazing Annoyatron. It's a fantastic product. He's very keen to distribute it through Australia Post outlets. What the kit does is he believes that kids are the best ones placed to be able to create toys for kids. For a kit that costs $35, you can make 20 things, and in those 20 things, someone can educate themselves about how to code, how to develop, and you can create cool things like a dripping tap or a cricket, which are then fantastic to be able to place into your parents' bedroom to drive them crazy when they don't know it's there. But it's an example of how these types of things can be unlocked by a large organisation that can then give itself an ability to be able to embrace that. For ourselves, of course, we've had a business where over the last 10 years, we've helped to prove the identity of a quarter of the Australian population every year, and we do that now. And what we're now doing is we've taken our ability to create and the work that we've been doing over 5 years and introducing a new product called Digital ID. And what Digital ID does is it helps you as an individual to be able to reuse your important information to make it easier to be able to sign up to do really important things online. And this can be opening a bank account, doing what you need to do with applying for insurance. It can be solving the identity friction that exists in the health sector to make sure you can activate power at a touch of a button and give you an ability to be able to prove your identity in places where it's fundamentally difficult to do. And we know through the work that we've done that in our economy today, solving for that problem, or the cost of that problem, costs our Australian economy about $11 billion every year. As an innovation for us, our ability is to create a platform that enables our customers to then focus on the brilliant experiences they want to create in their communities and with their customers to ensure that they can use something like this and provide better trusted interactions when they're wanting to go and interact online. So that's one example of something that's come from us. Another one is then in payments, and I'll play this video to share some of that with you now.
To compete with global giants, you need to compete with their ever-evolving e-commerce technology. How? Welcome to Alpha Commerce Hub. We're changing the commerce game. Real-time technology solutions that help you keep up with the ever-changing e-commerce landscape with the click of a button. More than just a payments platform, Alpha Commerce Hub is an Australian first, giving you access to an extensive range of emerging and leading digital commerce products. Now, you have the power to manage everything from payment and fraud solutions, loyalty programs, identity and consolidated reporting, all from a single dashboard. Have the confidence to take your business to the world. Trade internationally with global currencies and geolocated payment solutions, as well as the most comprehensive fraud and identity library on the market. There's no need to onboard with individual vendors. Integrate with Alpha Commerce Hub and have access to an extensive list of third-party vendors at your fingertips. Simply plug into the services you need and remove the ones you don't, all with the click of a button. Alpha Commerce Hub is here to change the way you do business with cutting-edge technology made simple. This is the future of fintech, and it starts today. alphacommercehub.com.au.
A bit of a plug for a product there, sorry about that. But what's interesting about what we've done is, as an organisation, we've now formed a joint venture with a startup company as a different type of business model that we want to create that embraces the fact that an organisation's had a terrific group of ideas in the technology that they've built, but our ability to help to provide a platform for that to be able to evolve what is possible in Australia is what we then bring to bear. And for us, I guess the most important thing that we've learnt as we've kind of approached our ability to create, it's the ability to commit, the ability to make a decision, the ability to go and make progress, and to enable our teams and our culture to be able to create the future that then exists. I hope this helps, and thank you then for the opportunity.